Hello, I'm Chad Larsen.
And I'm Barry Berg.
Welcome to Setting the Standard, Conversations with the Berg Larsen Group, a podcast where we discuss questions that are top of mind for upper bracket homebuyers and sellers in the Twin Cities metro. Welcome. Today we're going to talk about, is the condo lifestyle right for me?
Both Chad and I currently are condo dwellers. We've owned single family homes before, but whether you're a young professional or an empty nester, condos could be the ideal answer for you. And when I say condo, we also include townhomes and other kinds of options, but those are the most common in the Twin Cities.
I knew it was time. Well, my wife told me it was the right time, and so that's how we knew it was the right time. Wasn't shoveling snow, but it could have been that. That was me. It was her raking leaves as I was rushing off to a showing, and when I came back, she said, I'm not doing this again. So condo lifestyle, it was definitely right for us,
right?
Because it helped to limit the amount of outdoor activity that was needed and the upkeep that I wasn't able to do.
Yeah. Well, and bear in mind, we love single-family homes.
Yeah.
But the reality is that for many of us, condos are the right option. But as with anyone else, if you're buying a condo for the first time, it's critical to step back and think about, what do I want? What is my wish list? There are some people for whom condos, and when I say a condo, usually when I use that term, I'm thinking of a taller building, multiple level. It can be a high rise, it can be a mid rise, but where you're predominantly on one level. There are many people who don't think that's quite right for them yet. They want some kind of yard space, and for them, a townhome may be a better option. The reason that a lot of people also like townhomes is they like having their own separate door, their individual door, and they like that sense of being able to step out onto some kind of a lawn area and maybe just do some bit of gardening. But when you think about condos and townhomes for that matter, there are lots of different options. So I think it's important to step back and think about, well, what are you looking for?
Yeah, and you talk about that townhome, condo, villa homes, or another, basically anywhere where there's sort of an association, right? That you are part of an association that helps to take care of the large area, whether that's interior, exterior, yard maintenance, plowing, things like that. And so that makes your lifestyle easy, but there are certain things we want to touch on to enumerate how that condo lifestyle works.
Yeah, and I think let's talk about condos predominantly here for a moment, because I think as you, as a prospective buyer, start to explore that lifestyle. If you already live in a condo, you understand that, and you might be thinking, hey, I want either a larger or a smaller condo, maybe I want a different building. But one of the things that we would want to point out right off the bat is that depending upon the size of that building, there's probably a different culture. And so part of deciding what's important to you is trying to figure out what sort of culture is important to me. How do I want to look at that condo as my community, something where a lot of my social life revolves around that. Others are so involved with other things that may not be critical. But there are a variety of other factors. I mean, as you're thinking about condos, Chad, what are some of the sorts of things you feel somebody needs to take into consideration?
Well, one of the things I've often said is that, I live in a high rise. So 249 units, 39 stories, and that's a large neighborhood. So when I'm coming and going, there's a lot of other people who are likely coming and going at that same time. And I enjoy that interaction with them, with our front desk staff, so that when I'm coming back from showings or whatever that might be, I'm usually going to run into somebody. And yet at the same time, right, you live in a smaller building.
Right.
And
I love the fact there are only 35 units in my building. I know everybody. And I certainly know when there's a unit that's changed hands, that those people that I see that I've never seen before are probably the new residents. And from my perspective, I like the fact that there is more of an intimacy. Doesn't mean we're not on top of one another at all. I can go weeks without seeing my neighbors, but on the other hand, I know they're there.
And that's a great way to think about it, right? That there are these different experiences, much like for a single family where you might live in Kenwood or Linden Hills, and those have different vibes, different feelings, and so condos have that same alternative options.
Bear in mind that if you live in a larger building like Chad, you're probably going to have a variety of other amenities, a pool, maybe a variety of other spaces, workout, although most condo buildings are still going to have a fitness facility of some sort or another. If you live in a smaller building, you may, like me, recognize I wouldn't use many of those facilities, and so it's not as critical to me to have. The other thing I would say, and it's often a misnomer among prospective buyers, if you buy and live in a condo building, you're going to have association fees. But if you have owned a single family home and you step back and think about what you spent on utilities, on insurance, on yard care, on snow removal, on maintenance of the property.
Saving not only just maintenance, right, but saving for future replacement.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you still have to replace a roof. So when you stop to look at those, most of us who live in condo buildings really feel that our association fees are at best, worst, a wash with what we would have spent owning a single family home, and probably a better value for us. So I think it's one of those things you need to understand what you're dealing with.
This topic is interesting, right? Because I think we both are so close to it that in some ways it's, I think, easy to communicate our passion about it, but there are, just like single family home ownership and the different styles of homes, this topic has so many sort of nuances that it's kind of hard to cover here in one go around. And so I think this is certainly something, if you are contemplating exploring a life in a condo or a townhouse or a villa home, please reach out, and we're happy to talk about it.
It is indeed a more complex issue.
There's a lot going on.
And the kind of thing where you have to understand, if you were buying a single family home, you probably expect that with time you're going to have to make some improvements to that. Well, guess what? Condos and townhomes age as well. So that as time passes, you're probably going to find that if you're looking for something that's totally turnkey, you're looking for the wrong product, because you're probably going to need to make some changes. But on the other hand, when I use the word turnkey, it can be a tremendous turnkey lifestyle. You can lock that door and leave.
I've loved it.
Again, what we both have. As Chad acknowledges, this is a subject for a good deal of discussion with any one of you. And so reach out to us. We're more than happy to have those conversations, because we think that condos are a good option for many different kinds of people.
Absolutely agree. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.
Terrific.